Hey, welcome to another episode of Married and Committed Podcast. How have you been? Those of us who are watching us live or probably on YouTube, I hope you've been good. And if you're listening to any one of your favorite podcast platform, hope you've been good. If you're listening in your car, maybe you're driving to work or you're running errands in between, doing something. I hope the Lord blesses you. I hope He protects you every day of your life. And I hope your marriages are flourishing. Welcome to another episode of Married and Committed Podcast. This is a platform where we help married Christian men who are actually on the verge of divorce to help them rebuild trust, rekindle intimacy, and helping them strengthening their marriages and for them to actually live that fulfilling married life as designed by God. And I am your host, Tunde Olanipet is my name. And I have my beautiful wife here, Masestori. It's always awesome to have her around. Isn't she beautiful? So today we're going to be talking and still continuing on the topic, which I think, sweetheart, it's the number 4, right?
Yes,
it's the fourth point on the series of, what was it? Do you remember?
The 5 secrets of marriage.
Yes, absolutely. So it's so today we're going to be talking about the importance of spending quality time in a marriage. Importance of spending quality time in a marriage. And if we reflect back, let's do that exercise and see if we're able to get it from where we started. This series is about the importance of communication, right?
Yes.
In a marriage. So the first point was on what?
Communication.
Communication, right?
Yes.
Okay, how we communicate effectively, how important that is in a marriage. And the second point was on respect. Awesome. We talked about how we as a Christian couple, how we should live by the values as prescribed in the Bible and being a Christian. And the third one, we looked into forgiveness.
Oh, yes, forgiveness. Yes.
We looked into forgiveness. Forgiveness is one key issue that plays a major role in the transformation of any marriage that has gone through hardship. When it comes to you living a married life that you truly want. And we looked into that. So today it's going to be looking deeply into the importance of quality time.
Quality time, spending time together with your spouse,
in a marriage,
with your wife, with your husband.
Absolutely. And actually, before we go there, somebody was telling me about something, and I've been deliberating on that. I know I'm going to put you on on the spot on this.
Okay.
And the person was like, "No, why are you calling the wife Masestori? You must say Smangi." And by the way, guys, so my wife has this nickname, which is Smangi. And Masestori and Selena is our government name. But Smangi is what most people know. So maybe when she's at the workplace, like, right, she'll use, I'm Masestori, I'm Selena. She always chooses in between one of the two. And someone said, "No, why don't you use Smangi? We don't know this Masestori." And I've been thinking, what do you think about that?
You know what? It's because I have some of my colleagues are watching, listening.
Yeah.
So to accommodate everybody, if you're comfortable with Smangi, yes, it's Smangi. If you're comfortable with Masestori, yes, Masestori.
Yes.
Even at work, I use both. I remember we had this a new employee, so he knew me as Smangi,
Okay.
and then the day that he started, on that day, I was off. And they're like,
Okay.
oh, are you the one that Masestori referred? He's like, who's Masestori? Who's that? you know?
I know.
So, yeah, some people, they know me as Mangi. Some people know me as Masestori.
Right.
Some, like, they know me as Selena. So, all of them, it's all one person.
It's all one
One
person.
person.
Three
Yes.
in one.
Yeah.
So anyway, yeah, I'll see to that because in most of the print or when we release the episode, it's always Massatori and all that.
Masestori,
But
yes.
anyway, yeah. All right, that aside, let's dwell and dive deep into this episode. The importance of spending quality time. If you're a man or a couple out there, I just want to put this question, think about it for a second. How do you spend quality time together? So, in today's episode, we're going to be looking at the pros and cons of you spending time together and share with you even some of our personal experiences of what we do in spending time together all through the year. We've been married for 19 years now, known each other for 20 years. How have we moved from one level of being able to spend our time together to where we at now? What are the systems that we put in place? Do we have any sort of routines for us to make sure that we spend quality time together? And one of the one that I'm going to dive deep quickly into is that when you spend time together, you actually strengthen, the emotional and physical intimacy of the marriage. And I think with us, it's now a norm. It's not something that is you can't we can't really bargain not to spend quality time together.
Yeah.
Even though maybe our work schedules might be crazy, but when it comes to when we know that, hey, you
This
know
is the
what,
time.
we haven't had time together. And when I'm saying spending quality time together, I'm excluding the kids from this, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
No kids. How do we go, how do we do this as a couple that we want to have this me time?
I know, like some couples, they'll be like, "How do I have quality time with kids when I have kids?"
Yes.
So for us, what we do when we know that, okay, it's been a while, we just went out together, spent some time together.
Yes.
What we do first, this is how we do our own marriage. We first go out, maybe the weekend before we go out, we take the kids out, not like we take them to the hotel and all that. We take them to playgrounds, to places where they can have fun.
Right.
We play with them, take them to the swimming pool, make sure that they are happy too.
That's
so
right.
that when they don't see us, they'll be like, oh, but they go out, but we're at home.
That's right.
Then the following weekend, we know that, okay, guys, thank God that our number one is almost 18. He can take care of them.
That's right.
The little ones. So that's the moment we take time to rekindle our marriage. We go out, spend time together. We just call home and check if everything is okay.
That's right.
Yeah, and it's something that we do on a, like, most every month at least. We should go out twice.
Yes.
If it were too busy and all that, at least once a month. But
Yeah,
that
at
time
least.
we need to create. We do create that time for ourselves.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's true. Because, like I said, it actually strengthens emotional and physical intimacy. It's very important because on the later segment of this podcast, we're going to talk about the consequences of not doing this, not spending quality time together. So, because when you find yourself going out with your best half, you are building up to the kind of marriage life that you really want to live.
Yes.
And that actually cascades, it, kind of like trickles down to every other aspect of your life.
Right.
Just that one singular act of spending time together, making that decision to be like, we have to do this. Because
Yes.
it is from spending time together that brings about, you having deeper talks about what is going on in the
Yes.
relationship. Where are we?
Yes. Are you happy? Is there things that are bothering you? Because
Yes.
it's not all the time you're at home, you start talking about, oh, this is bothering me, this is because we are busy, you work, kids,
Yes.
stuff like that. But when you create time with your partner, that's where you sit down and, rethink and brainstorm together, or
Absolutely.
seeing how forward you're going to do things. Like, okay, we tried to do things this way, remember what we were struggling with, how did we overcome, things
Yes.
like that. Time, like, we communicate, you go back and check, like, on each other, like, emotionally, are you happy,
That's right.
physically, are you okay,
Yes.
those are the
You know,
the things that we most talk about.
that's true. And talking about physical intimacy and all that, it gives you room to even explore, on the other ministry of you guys being together. You guess what?
Yeah.
My our pastor would always use a code word, to say when you go to Jerusalem, right? Apostle Promise,
Yeah.
Promise, Apostle Promise Adeyemi, our spiritual father, will say, yeah, when you go to Jerusalem, you're able to explore, and this is as a result of you spending quality time together. And when I say quality time together, it's you being away from home, you going on dates, you just go away, go sleep, have a mini vacation somewhere. It's very important that this should be a ritual for every couple,
Couple, yes.
because it takes your marriage to the next level. You're spending time together. And one of the things that this does also is that it helps you build trust and a deeper connection between yourself
Yes.
and your spouse. Building trust is not something that comes or, overnight. It comes as a result of sharing ideas together, of sharing whatever it is that are your aspirations inside your marriage. If you have individual goals that you want to achieve, it's from this spending quality time together that all of this comes up and you're able to talk about it. And this, like I said, has to be a ritual. You don't have to shy away from it
or wait until the school holidays. That, oh, school holidays now, where do we go?
yeah,
You can do it anytime.
anytime.
Just have to create the time.
Yeah, you create
And
a time.
with I don't know whether if I should say African men or men back home in South Africa, when
Yes.
it's the time, school holidays. It's like, oh, baby, we are going home. I'm taking you home to my family, or we go visit your family. No, it's not all about that, because when you take your wife
Yes.
to the family, that they're gonna expect her to cook and walk and do stuff.
That's right.
No, that's not a holiday. Back in Africa, I'm talking about what I know.
Yes.
So on this one, I'm talking about South African men. Stop taking your wives to your family homes and say, baby, I'm taking you out with the kids.
And
No,
we're going home.
we are going home. No. There's places that we can
That's
go.
not quality
I want to
time.
get up. The woman want to get up and leave the bed like that. Let housekeeping come and clean up. Not now. You get there, she's the one doing everything. No. Take time. You can take your kids. You can take the kids to the grandparents.
That's
and
right.
you go somewhere else.
Go
then
have
when
fun.
you are done, you can go and get the kids. We all go home.
That's
You
right.
know?
Yeah, that's the way to go about
Yes.
it. I don't know. Thank you for chipping that in. And it's not only like South African men and all that. I
Yeah.
mean, you have people from back home from Nigeria also. I think it's a kind of like a African thing because of our culture, the traditions, or the way we do things. Anytime it's like festive period,
You
where do
wanna,
you want to go home, back home
yeah,
to where your roots are, and now it has now become a paradigm and a way of how we see things.
yeah,
As we're growing up, yeah.
yeah. Yeah, what I'm saying is not all the time, because
Yes.
I guess some people, when it's like holidays, that's when they say, let's go home. Even
Yes.
that too, you can make that time. You can go when it's a weekend, spend a weekend with them and come back.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
not only when there's holidays, school holidays, that's when you have to carry the wife to go. There are places to go. Let's go to Dubai. Let's go to
Let's go to
London. Let's
Europe.
go. Let's
Yeah.
go.
Let's go to Venice.
Yes.
Go have some fun, spending quality time together. So one of the pros of spending quality time together also is that it reduces stress and it improves the overall well-being of both spouses. So, you know, I mean, you just check about your daily routines. If you're someone who goes to work, or you are like a business owner, maybe you're managing people, you're managing business entirely, and you would know the stress that comes with it, especially in a time like this, in this dispensation that we find ourselves now. When you spend quality time with your wife or with your husband, it reduces all of those stress, because you just have to shut away from all the hustling and bustlings of all the things. If you're a business owner, hand over the business to someone who's going to help you take care of things, or if you someone who actually works, you know that, oh, you're already taking 2 weeks vacation, or a week
Yeah.
vacation, or you taking certain days off. I know definitely you would have to pay bills. You have a lot of commitment things that you have to do, but it's extremely important that you look into this, because your well-being, your health is wealth. Your health comes first. If you don't
Yeah.
have uh, a healthy life, how are you going to live that fulfilling married life that you truly want to live? So it's extremely important. And one last one that I'm going to be giving you is that it creates happy memories and shared experiences. I want to, tell you, like, there are some memories that we've created that is so stuck in our minds that we never forget. We always reflect back on these times, and when we look back, we're always excited. And even though, and most of the times we will go all out sometimes. We wouldn't mind whatever amount of money that we're going to spend.
Yeah.
It's only later we might look into that later, like, where did we get that strength or that idea
Okay.
from?
Yes.
I remember 2018, we went to San Diego, right?
Oh yeah.
San
Oh
Diego
wow.
was one of the very nice trips that we had, vacation, and we're only four of us. We didn't have number three at that point in time. I tell you, the memory of San Diego has never
Wipe.
departed, from us, because we had a great time.
Yes.
You
Quality
know,
time.
we had quality time. Yeah, we had it with the kids, which is good. Yeah, definitely, we wanted them to be part of these memories. And when we look back, it was fun.
Yeah,
We
we
had
really
fun
have
all the
fun.
way,
Yeah.
because there is no greater thing than creating those memories, for your spouse, you being the man, or maybe you as a wife. I don't know how you get things done at home.
Yeah.
My wife here, she's the minister of finance, in our home. So sometimes I'll just be looking and be like, okay, let's go ahead and yeah, let's do this, because we only live life once, and there wouldn't be any better time to do it than now,
Than now.
because you don't want to keep procrastinating and saying, oh no, um, when we save more, we don't have enough money.
No, sometimes we just have to say, you know what? Let's forget. As he's saying, Minister of Finance in this home.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'm like, we are not paying bills.
Yeah,
This
no
month,
bills.
no bills are going to be paid. Nobody's going to kill us. We're not gonna die. this is what we need to go to do. Then
Yeah.
we make time, we go out.
And when we say no bills, it's not like we ignoring, our responsibility. No bills in the sense of, we're not going to overstretch ourselves and be like, oh no, this should have been done and all that. No, some things can wait. We'll
Yeah.
see to it probably in the
Yes.
next week or
Yes.
in the next 2 weeks. So, but for now, we choose, we create the time to
Yes.
go away, and that's it. And nothing, most of the time, is not going to stop us. We just go have fun, That's the way we roll.
It is necessary to have to spend time together with your spouse. Necessary to spend time with the family.
Yes.
As my husband said, yes, it creates memories, because sometimes we might be like, okay, we are not going anywhere. We are just at home playing with the kids and all that. Then we start playing the videos that we took when we went out somewhere.
Yes.
Start having fun, start talking about it. Kids were like, where was I? And we're like, you were
Yeah.
not born. And, so those memories, like to make memories, it's very important.
Yeah, it's very important. They're kind of priceless.
Yeah.
It's something like money can buy.
Yes.
I remember one of the times also, even back in South Africa, when we've not had
Second
any, not even number one,
Yeah.
our first child and all that. We really had fun. We had fun. We were not as rich as we were, if I may say that. Because we started life in a 1 bedroom. We were sharing a communal bathroom. The kitchen was, no, we had a 2-plate stove in our room, where we cook from, and life was good. So the little we had, we had fun. It was always me and wifey, and
anytime
we
want
go
to
do
go
our own
out,
thing. Yeah,
we go.
we're not looking at any child, where we're gonna drop this boy or anything. We had fun.
Yeah.
So you don't have to wait. My point is that you don't have to wait until you wealthy or you have a lot of money before you start doing things. In fact, the first date that we had with this woman right here, I didn't spend up to $1. I bought her a cup of ice cream. It was like a small bowl, and it cost me only about 2 South African rands.
2 rands.
So 2 rands. So it's not up to $1. Maybe about a quarter.
Yeah, maybe a quarter.
A quarter, maybe. And it was one of the most memorable times of our life. She never forgets. I've taken this woman to like very nice places, like in this world, but that one singular act of me buying her, an ice cream in a bowl.
The way it was, we're like, oh,
Yeah.
I have something for you. So can you imagine, ladies, your man is telling you, I have something for you. My hopes were like raised up. I'm like, okay, what did he have for me? And he bought me ice cream. And I was like, oh, okay. At least he bought me something. Some
Right.
people, they don't even have that ice cream. Get that ice cream,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the point is that it's not until you have, lots of money,
Yes.
You can plan very small vacations. You go have fun. Go.
Even
Go
though,
enjoy
even if
life.
you can't afford a vacation, just take, like, I remember those days, I would just roll up a blanket, 2 pillows, 2 camp chairs. We'll walk, not like we'd even have a car. We'll walk to the park, and I would have made some sandwiches.
Absolutely.
And juice,
I remember that too.
We
Yes.
just pack that, go to the park, put down our
Just the two of
blanket,
us. Yeah.
pillow, look at the sky, have our sandwich and juice, and at least we went out. It's
Yeah.
only just 2 of us, so it's not until you have a lot of money that no, I need money for this, I need money
money
for
for
that.
hotel
No,
booking
no,
and
no,
all
no,
that.
no.
Yeah,
You create that time and space.
You create it, And for me, these are the times where he gives me opportunity to whisper sweet nothings
Oh
to
my
her,
goodness.
And I'll start telling her all this nice stuff, By faith, I'm saying all of those things. And
Oh, wow.
I mean, when I look back, I'll be like, okay.
And
Some
you know
of those
what?
things are prophecies,
Yes,
because it's
true.
coming to pass.
That's what I want to say. I was like, I remember there was a time when we were not at the level that we are right now. I was
Yes.
working at casino, and then I had to leave at.
You're working at the Emperor's Palace
Yes,
in Kempton
Emperor's
Park,
Palace.
right,
Yes,
in
at
South
Kempton
Africa.
Park. And then I was like calling him, like, "Oh, are you gonna come and pick me up, or get the money for transport?" I can't remember what was it. And we were like, you know what? I'm not that too tired. You use get a, what do we call it at that time?
A taxi?
Yeah, not a taxi. Yeah, we call it a meter taxi, right?
Yes.
Get a meter taxi to come to my work. Then,
because I didn't have a car.
yeah,
by
you
then.
didn't
We
have a car that
Yeah.
time. So I'm like, use a meter taxi to come to Emperor's Palace from Kempton Park. Then we can walk together back to Kempton Park. It was around 12 midnight.
Yes, because there was an event that you were
Yeah, there was an event that I was attending. So that too, I can take it to be like still spending time together. Because it took us an hour plus to get to Kempton Park.
Yeah.
We were not running, we were not in a rush, we were just walking in a summer night,
Yes.
in a cool night. Then we were just talking and
Yeah.
That's
I remember that night.
Whispering all those sweet
I
nothings
was
to
telling
me.
her, I was like, we're going to travel. I'm going to take you around the world. I'm going to take you to Venice. I'm going to take you to Paris. We're going to go to New York, go to the US, And at that point in time, I didn't even have a dime. I didn't have a car.
Goodness. I was just agreeing to everything. I said, okay, yes, and we're gonna go where again? You'll be telling me. So there's this particular story that he told me. Up to today, I will never forget. And
right.
I don't
what
know.
Story is that
I don't know what was I thinking, or I was just being ignorant. He was telling me about the story that, oh, there was this guy that was in the plane and he was about to be arrested. So the police came on the air. The aeroplane now had to line up with the helicopter, and then they open door, they take out
the law enforcement, they bash into the plane.
Oh my goodness.
And they arrested that guy.
And then they opened the door. Can you imagine?
She was always believing me.
Yeah, but now,
anything that I say. I'm always just creating things that will make her excited, laugh, we created memories together.
I guess when I was still young, like not knowing things, like how can you open the door of the plane and
and she believed it. I tell you, she believed it.
This guy.
All right, let's dive quickly into the risk and the downside of neglecting quality time in a marriage. And one of it is that when you don't spend quality time together, you're going to grow apart. And you're going to have that feeling of disconnection.
Exactly.
There's no way you're going to do it. Can you imagine not spending time with someone that you claim that you truly love? There is no way you're going to build the connection. So there's going to be that growing apart, and you're going to start feeling indifferent about the person that you said, I do to, like till death do us apart. There's going to be that growing out of love. You'll be like, I'm not feeling this person anymore.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to say. Like, oh, I don't feel you. I don't think I love you anymore.
Yes.
It's because you've not created that time.
You've not.
I remember there was a story about the lady that the husband wanted a divorce.
Yes.
And the wife was like, okay, I will sign the papers on one condition for 20 days. Just carry me. I don't know, it was carry me outside the door or what every day before you go to work. Okay, whether it was hug me or carry me to the front door and put me back,
Yes.
So that time, within that 20 days, the husband felt the connection with the wife, something that he has never done, he has never felt.
That's right.
So that's the importance of spending time together.
Yes.
For that little moment, imagine somebody taking you from the bedroom just to carry you and put you back, or hug you and kiss you. That's it. Just for 20 days. That changed the whole idea of getting divorced.
Absolutely.
That's how important it is to spend time together with your partner. Even if you don't have to go out, yes, you make time, but in the home, depending on the times that you guys work, or some days just both of you say we call off, you're not going to work, this is our time.
That's
It's
right.
not until you go out you're like, you know what, sweetheart, don't go to work today, me to call off. Then it's only us, the kids are not there. Can you imagine from 8 that the kids are not there until 2? We are not like, yeah, being intimate with your partner, just two of you in the house, do whatever you want to do, do whatever, wherever you want to do.
Yeah.
Kids are not there, just both of you. Then
You're right.
after that, that's it.
That's
It's not
true.
until you go out or you spend money,
For the
just
hotel and
both
all
of
that.
us.
It's
Let's sit
about
on the couch.
spending. Yeah.
Let's sit on the couch. Let's watch a movie. Let's
Yeah.
cuddle.
Yeah.
You know?
Absolutely. Yeah, about the cuddling. Okay, yeah, okay, we're not gonna go into
Okay,
that.
let's not go there.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm not. I'm not a very good
We are not
one
going
when
there.
it comes to cuddling. But yeah, we're not going there. So we're talking about uh not spending quality time together.
And as I said,
Yes.
like just being at home with your wife, some topic. Sometimes we'll be watching a movie,
Yes.
right? All of a sudden, we are like, okay, so hold on, wait, let's pause this movie. We start talking about our life experience when we
Yes.
grew up,
Yes.
And by the time we look at the time, we spent almost an hour, 30 minutes talking, just engaging,
Yeah.
talking about things.
Reflecting back.
Yes, reflecting back.
Yeah.
And it's always good.
Yeah, it's always good. And one other thing that uh, emanates from not spending quality time together is that it increases the risk of infidelity.
Yes.
This one is huge. This one is huge. As men, and I'll be speaking from a point of view or based on experience also. Do you imagine when you go to work, right? You spend, okay, 8 to 4. I think about 8 hours or 10 hours, and depending on your work schedule, you spend these hours of time with your colleagues. You've got female colleagues, that are now like friends and part of you. You spend all of these hours with them every single day, depending on how many days that you work, maybe 5 days in a week. Let's say you do 8 times 5, or if you're doing like a 10-hour shift with some group of people in a week, and by the time you come back home, if it happens that your wife or your partner is working like contrary like to your time, um, in terms of your shift, you'll find out that you're not spending that time together, because while you're back from work, your wife now is heading out to work. Can you imagine what that could cost? Just think about that for a moment. And this happens day in, day out. Even maybe on weekends that you're supposed to chill and all that. There's an overtime that you have to do. Oh, I'm going to grab it. You're going to go for it. And now, what this will result in is that you're going to be feeling more connection with the people that you're working with. You have that lady at work who you always want to share everything with. You don't know what you're doing. You're sowing some different kind of seeds that is actually going to bring your marriage down.
Yeah.
Because unknowingly, when you communicate or you're sharing some very personal things with people, especially with the opposite sex, yeah, I'm assuming people I'm speaking to are straight people. That is when you're going to have this, as a very huge problem.
Yeah.
It's just something that, you know, you you need to shy away from.
Yeah.
And on this note, I will pause here and let me deal with that real quick.
Okay.
So yes, back to that. So you end up giving attention to colleagues, and before
Yeah.
you know, one thing leads to the other. You wouldn't know when you do crazy thing because you're not spending quality time with your
Yeah.
best half. And this could happen on both sides. I'm not just speaking to you as a man, I'm speaking to you even as a
As a
woman,
woman. Yeah.
you know, to be very conscious of this so
Yeah.
that you don't fall into that trap.
Yeah.
That is how the enemy sets trap and bring that destruction to
In the marriage.
marriages.
Yeah.
So
And
you must know,
still with communication, the more you spend time with your spouse, that's more you communicate, you talk about everything. Don't hide your feelings. You
yes,
know, do not hide the feelings and assuming that he understands or assuming that he knows or she knows. Communicate,
that's right.
so that the same thing that is bothering you, you don't take it out and, you know, talking to someone that might hear it in a different way and makes move based on what the person had. So
Yes,
spending more time talking, that's what we're saying, talking about your emotions, your feelings and all that,
that's true. So
Yeah.
that is very key. I wanted to, put that point across. And of course, on this one is that it creates that lack of shared memories and experiences. This is exactly the opposite of you having a very wonderful experience. If you don't have experiences, and create memories in your marriage, what are you then living for?
Yeah.
Because when you make that commitment to say it is going to be till death do us apart, this is part of the things that you're committing to. That we're going
Yes.
to create memories, we're going to live happily ever after.
After.
That in spite of the challenges that we would face, we would come out of it stronger. So the lack thereof of not spending quality time together is going to bring about all of this, not having those beautiful memories that you share together, not having, to
To
create
express.
wonderful memories. So it's very important. And yeah, and now I just want to give practical tips, on how we can spend quality time together. It's very, very important that it's something that you do religiously. You don't want to bring any excuses for not, number one, you trying to go out on date nights
Yeah.
and having that regular couple time, like we said, it's very important. Create times, create a schedule that you go on date nights. If you want to have a frequency, maybe we want to go, say, at least once in a week. That's what we do,
Yes.
to say no, at least if we don't have even date nights, we have breakfast together. Because of the our work schedule, my wife work schedule, she's a phlebotomist, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
I we we spend most of the day together, right?
Yeah.
So when she comes back from work, maybe she takes a nap, we just or before she takes a nap, we go to have breakfast. It's not even every time like, no, we want to cook and all that. Or sometimes if she's like very strong, she just gets in the kitchen, even though she's coming back from work. She even sacrifice, or I could do the same sometimes. She'll get in the kitchen, make us breakfast. We spend time together. But on this note, I'm talking about you creating time
Time.
to have date nights, have that regular couple time. And
Yes.
number two is that you should find shared hobbies and interests. This is
Yeah.
very key,
Yep.
because you are two individual persons, right? You
Mm-hmm.
definitely have different things that you like,
Yeah.
right? But now try to find shared interests, things that you both have in common that you
Mm-hmm.
can do together,
Yep.
and try to, meet each other halfway. I know this madam right here, she likes to do shopping. Oh my God.
And men
So
also.
now I would have to sacrifice. Not like I don't like to shop, or yeah, it's just that the frequency in which she is on another level. If you wake my wife up from sleep and be like, no, are you ready? Like this, she said, I'm going. She's go. I don't know, like she's just gone. She's ready.
I think it's not only me. I don't. I think
It's a
most
woman
more
thing.
woman thing. Yes.
Yeah, most women.
And sometimes the way he's trying to control it is like, okay, I know that when I'm saying let's go shopping or let's go, I wanna buy something. He may say, oh no, you are not going or something. I'll just get up, say, Studi, get ready. I want us to go somewhere. You know, I won't even mention where we are going. You just let's go. And then you see him because he wants to, okay, where are we going? I'm like, let's go. Let's
Yeah,
go.
I wouldn't
Then
even know where
boom.
we're going
Yeah,
sometimes.
we're going to
I'll
buy.
just,
Going to buy something. And I
Mr.
need to buy.
Husband, I'm just doing the follow follow. And only when we get into the car, I'm like, and she'll be like, did you even know where we are going? I'm like, you said, let's go. So I don't know. So that's number two. It's very important, you find shared hobbies or interests, things that would make, you sacrifice, you compromise, you tolerate one another's interests and hobbies, you go with the flow.
Yeah.
And number three is that you're communicating openly and honestly about your needs and expectations. It looks like you mentioned it earlier on, when we started, that when you spend quality time together, these are the ways that you can do it. Because when you go out there or we together, now
Yeah.
we can talk about our feelings.
Yes.
We can talk about, oh, sweetheart, there was something that you did, there was something that you said, I didn't like it, that approach.
Yeah. Or sometimes you say it immediately. It's not you're
Yes.
gonna keep it. I'm like, oh, when we go out, I'll tell him no.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, yeah,
You
you
talk
just
about it
talk
right
it
away.
right away because you keep it something. It will be make something that is making you angry, and you are like, okay, I'm not gonna say. I'll remind him later. No, say it right there and there.
Say it right
Say, you know
away.
what? This is what has been happening. Or like the other time, I was listening to the radio, right?
Yes.
And then you were singing along, thinking that, oh, we are enjoying this radio together, the
Yeah.
music we're listening to. Then you switch it off and turn on the TV without even asking me that, hey, are you still listening or what?
Very
But
simple things like
yeah,
that.
very simple things like that. And I was like, what just happened right now? Then I was like, okay. I looked at him. He's not even watching that TV. He's on his phone. I'm like,
What happened?
what was this? You know. So I tried to keep it, but I was like, you know what? I paused the TV. I'm like, see, this is what you are doing. We were singing together this song just because the song is over or whatever. We know it's radio what Air1. I like
Yeah,
to
we're
listen
listening to Air1. We love listening to Air1.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so I was like,
It's a gospel radio
yeah,
station.
and then
Yeah.
all of a sudden he didn't even switch it off.
Oh yeah,
You know what the volume?
I put on the TV.
He put on the TV and the TV volume was louder than the radio that I couldn't hear.
Yeah, because
You
I
know?
was trying to watch something on YouTube. There was a
Yeah,
video.
and it was on the phone at the same
Yes.
time. So I was like, you know what? Do you realize what you just did? It's like, what did I do? I'm like, I'm listening to the radio. You turn on the TV. So imagine if I was just mad. I'm like, okay, I'll go upstairs or I'll be on my own without communicating. And he wasn't even aware that that's what he did.
Yeah.
He apologized and then, yes, let's switch off the TV. I'm still
Then we
listening.
moved on.
Yeah, we moved on.
Yeah. So yeah, those are the tips, that I can give you. And one last one is that it's, avoiding distractions and being fully present, and talking about we being on the phone and all that, we're very sensitive to that. So we know once one person is on the phone and the other person is trying to say something, and you're distracted, you're not listening.
Yeah.
So let's say it's me sometimes, because it happens both ways. Maybe she's trying to talk to me, I'm on my phone, I'm like, she'll just give me a little time, and the next thing I'll hear is that you are not listening to me. Are you listening to me? I'll be like, oh sweetheart, I'm sorry, sweetie, I'm sorry, yeah. And I just take that phone, boom, I just put it down, and So this is just one tip that I'll give you. Like, try to be all in,
Yeah.
try to be all ears to your partner when it comes to this. These are the benefits of being there for one another. It's extremely important. And yeah, this is awesome. This is awesome. I want to thank you guys today. If you're listening, you're watching this on YouTube, I hope this has really blessed you, and I believe you're going to apply this in your marriage. Practical tips that you can use on a daily, on an ongoing basis. So, in today's episode, we talked about the importance of spending quality times together. We talked about the pros and cons, of spending quality time together. And we gave also practical tips on you doing this. And till then, till next time. Our
See you
next, yeah, our next and last episode on this
Five
series
stories.
is gonna be on faith.
Faith.
How has your faith helped establish your relationship? So we're gonna be bringing that to you. We're gonna share our experiences. We're gonna share practical tips on how your faith will help you be present in your marriage. So until then, my name is Tunde Olanipekun, and I have my wife here, Smangy.
Smangy.
Until we come your way next time, keeping it 100% to your marriage as the Lord richly bless you and guide you. In Jesus' name. Have a good one.
Bye.
Shalom. Bye bye.